My name is Dustin Young, and I am the EVP here at Enzu. And today, I get to tell you about our company. I'm excited to do that, and I can't wait to tell you about who we are, what we do, and why we make a really great partner for you. We are a company that was founded in 2008 as an infrastructure as a service provider. And from that inception, we have been doing virtualization without VMware. We have been doing bare metal, and we have been building a system that was really meant to make cloud computing as simple as personal computing. So much so that another thing that really shines that you should know about us is that you get what feels like a VMware vSphere on-prem experience in the cloud. Our company was founded by Steve Empie and Nick Rose. They are very technical and have done a lot of work and really sat down and said, if we built a company, what is it about this company that we think would resonate? And at the end of the day, they felt that the tools should be able to be used in a single location. You shouldn't have to log in and out of many portals, and you should be able to get the work done without having to figure out the software and all of its little nuances, and that things should really feel intuitive. The company really is founded on this premise of build it correctly, make it easy to use, and make sure that the customer is getting what they expect. And that is the core of what makes Enzu. So let's get into our products. I'm going to break this up into sections. So I'm going to talk about our Patriot Portal, which is the platform that customers interact with. I'm going to talk about True Cloud, which is our private cloud that is an incredible alternative to VMware. I'm going to talk about True Metal, which is our bare metal platform. I'm going to talk about True AI, which is our AI infrastructure that is incredibly well designed. I'm going to talk about Super Cloud, and we're going to get into what that does and what is a super cloud. The Patriot Portal. There's a video on this you can go watch all about Patriot Portal and a demo. You can go find it in a link in this video and go there and learn and see that demo. I'm going to keep this real high level on the Patriot Portal in this video. This is one login. You go in and you can do production, disaster recovery, backups, snapshots, restores, file restores, firewall work, networking, one-to-one networking, everything that you're used to having to log into many different environments lives in a single place. Now, I know a lot of people will tell you they have a single pane of glass, and they really mean they have a single place where you can go look at your resources, do some things, but if you want to go do anything, if you want to test your DR, log in somewhere else. You want to restructure your DR, log in somewhere else. You want to take backups, different software. I hope you learned it. The other thing that's really amazing about our platform is that you have APIs and third-party webhooks, and we keep logs and we keep them in perpetuity. And so if you want to export those logs live, if you want to do all that work, you do it. If you want to go set up rules and triggers that say, hey, nobody's responded to an alert in 1 minute, somebody better text the next person, hey, have we emailed whomever needs emailed, can we get all hands on deck? All of that is just in this one place. The other thing that's really cool and is a differentiator for us is that our metrics, so how's everything working? There is no time limit of how far back you can go and see what's happened. So you can dig in and understand what's going on. And all of this, and this is what's really cool, gives you root access into your entire environment, and yet you still get complete co-management with us. And so we can actually manage this infrastructure together within this portal architecture and make sure you're getting the service you paid for, and you still maintain all your SLAs. So yeah, this it's this portal that's the big reason you end up feeling like you went from hardware on your premise to hardware in the cloud, but you didn't change how you interact with it. And I think that's really something that's worth understanding about us. And that portal really shines and brings out that somebody just needed to take the time to make it a single pane of glass where you actually do all your work in it and you don't have to go to other locations. And the Patriot portal has accomplished that. True Cloud is Enzu's hosted private cloud platform, an incredible alternative right now to VMware, has existed for 17 years, is a type 1 hypervisor, is Linux based. We're talking about KVM services, gives you IPMI out of band access, allows you to build everything in that Patriot portal, gives you full root access to the system, incredible granular controls of your roles and all the other things that come with it, and has a built-in import wizard. So you can bring in OVA files from public cloud, you can bring in BMDK files, and has an archive. So if you're coming off of VMware or you're coming off of an OVA-based system, you can take and import all of those files, put them in the archive, and then if you ever need to spin them up and view them for compliance or auditing reasons, you do that. The other thing is within the tool, you can have your cloud stacks in multiple locations, and each dropdown you manage in its location. So if you set up your high availability, which is native to the platform, then you can go in and have your high availability on site. You can set up a second site DR. You're going to get all of that native management of making sure data is replicating, and you go in and you have just these tools and this power to actually have a platform that enables the end user to do the work they need to do in the different locations and to build a big global system or a single site system that they can use and truly trust that their data is protected. Within True Cloud, you're talking about triple data replication, you're talking about encrypted traffic, you're talking about the ability to do Q and Q. There's a lot of things in this portal, in this platform, and it's really worth understanding and knowing about us that this is something that you should be talking about with your customers and out there, making sure they understand they don't just have to go find a different software with the Broadcom change, and they don't have to get stuck with somebody who's going to put them in vendor lock-in. So with our platform, if you import it, you can export it, and you can move your data as needed and build a real multi-cloud strategy. So let's talk about True Metal. True Metal is Enzu's bare metal platform. We have bare metal ready to go all around the world. There's stuff you can buy pre-configured. We can make small changes. We can deploy this stuff in hours, and you are ready to go. On the other side of it, we build this stuff as custom stacks. So for a lot of customers, there might be RAM changes or different things that they need in the chassis that impact how their application performs, right? It might be memory bound, it might be CPU bound, and we can go in, whether it's Intel or AMD, we can get all that built. We can use different chassis types. We can use different RAID types. We'll go in and custom build our bare metal to spec, and it's still incredibly cost effective. And we bring a lot of value to clients because of this, because they end up with the quality they want. They end up with the performance, the IOPS, and all the things that they want and know that they wanted. Whereas you look at bare metal in the pre-config, a lot of times people are using it and it works good enough. And that for some customers, that's all they need. And we have that. But we also make sure customers can configure it to meet all the performance specs. And then dedicated top rack switches, we deliver it as a virtual data center. So just like our True Cloud, it is dedicated to them through the entire stack, bring all their own VLANs and have complete control of how they communicate with it, including, again, one-to-one networking right into it, whether they're doing that through a virtual connection, termination, or they want to bring in dark fiber right into the stack. True AI. So now we get into GPU architectures, and we will build those from one GPU. Maybe somebody just wants an L40S and they're trying to mine their own intellectual property, something that is becoming more and more popular because people realize that data is sitting out there, all the way through to huge super stacks, right? You've got your pod, your super pod, and your hyper pods out there, and we can build a hyperpod. And one of the things that really impacts AI and GPUs is networking. And we work really hard to design to minimize the impact of that, to get the most data processed, including with our storage platform, where we partner with Weka to lay software on top of our custom built hardware for this so that they can get tens of millions of IOPS or more, get all of the S3 live, get GPU to direct processing right on the storage, pool the storage of their GPUs with the storage of the array, and get CLI plugins so that they can do job scheduling and container management live in this platform and ultimately deliver to their end users the data that they wanted to process faster. And that is the point to AI. Process data, get your outcomes, get it delivered. That's where the money's made. Right. So if they're building a generative AI platform, an inference AI platform, these are all things we can help and support. The networking, again, is really important, and we make sure to to future build into that networking. So as networking evolves, and it looks like there's some huge leaps coming in on-chip networking, and that's where people are going to see change, and we're working really hard to do that. Cooling is also something we're really careful about with True AI. We make sure it's designed correctly because we want to keep the GPU failure as low as possible. And the other part of that is we make sure there are on-site spares so customers have faster RMA and they're not waiting for the warranties to come from the manufacturers, whether they be NVIDIA GPUs, AMD GPUs, or Intel GPUs. These are all things that are out there, and we make sure that there's a set of on-site spares of all the parts that might be needed for any given chassis to make sure that the customer stays up and performing. And that is something that we guarantee in our service. And we work really hard to find tax abatement sites for customers because, quite frankly, if you can tax abate a full pod, it's a pretty significant savings for the end user. So we also try to make sure we do that and get them they're designed correctly. SuperCloud. This is a cool product. So this is a partnership between us and an organization called Control Plane. And this gives you the ability to have a fully managed K8 platform on top of any one of our solutions and access to all of the public cloud resources you could imagine. So SuperCloud is something you probably want to spend some time to learn separately. I'm going to try to also keep this one real high level, but this is a great way to think about it. Organizations go out and they build these container platforms, whether it's for AI or Ethereum processing, blockchain work, fintech, all this. There's a ton of stuff happening today from small stacks to very large stacks where they're using containers to manage that world. Some of the challenges in that, especially out in the public cloud arena, is the limited number of IOPS that they can achieve where they get stuck with something like one container per node. So their costs get high and then all their data throughput and processing gets high. They're paying for all the extras just to get to this. With SuperCloud, you end up being able to deliver infrastructure as code. So you get your infrastructure delivered much faster into the world and pre-set up for your current environment. You're able to work on job scheduling. You're able to deliver multiple containers per node because the nodes get designed correctly. You build a big global virtual cloud. You enter in the information you want, and then you get the outputs, YAML, JSON, Terraform. You grab that, you put it where you want, and you're off to the races. This is really cool because a great example is we are working with a company that was stuck on one container per node. And when we're done, they'll get up to 6 containers per node. And it will cost them similar or less than they're running today in one of the public cloud platforms. A lot of that's because we can build a dedicated network out of this and give them a much lower cost of network as well as high performing architecture that's designed specific to their application or their blockchain. The other thing that this does is it gives you the ability to use public cloud tools, even though you are in a private cloud or a bare metal stack or a dedicated AI stack, and to flex in and out of those public clouds. So think of you'll have a prospect and they're like, oh, I really want to work in MongoDB. So they have to be in that public cloud to use MongoDB to do what they need to do. Or they say, I want everything to sit in S3. So they have to go to that public cloud provider and get their S3. All of this, the hundreds of available tools that you would normally use, Linode, Hetzner, AWS, Azure, GCP, all these that are out there, you have access to all these tools all within your dedicated environment to you, where you're controlling performance and outcomes without having to be out in the public cloud providers and having to deal with the limitations of each of those and where you work. So SuperCloud is really a way to take your current architecture and turn it into a super high performance architecture. Again, maturity in Netflix without all the time and development that it takes. And this will, for your development team, this is like a 10x game changer for them. So why would you want to work with Enzu? Well, for starters, we're 100% channel and do not compete with you with a direct sales force or have channel integration where you're going to have channel conflict no matter how well it tries to be written. So organizationally, we're here to support your customers the way you want them supported. And we work really hard to earn that business with you. So much so that we have a lot of contractual guarantees around never taking deals direct, never doing any harm to you as the channel partner, helping us find new customers. We have great commission structure. We have a great payment history, and we make sure we get paid. It's something that's really important to me, and that I make sure you're taken care of. The other thing, it's our customer philosophy. We work really hard to make sure the customer gets everything they need. This is something that you'll learn when you talk to our customers. We go out of our way to make sure that their infrastructure is right, that things are done correctly within the data centers, and that they're provided the service that they paid for. I really hope you enjoyed the time today. I appreciate you watching this video. And this, from me and my entire team, we really look forward to seeing you out in the field.